Alright folks, let's talk about the 10mm. This isn't just another caliber you pick up at the ammo counter. It's a completely different attitude. When the 10mm first launched, it hit the market like a hammer. It was fast, it was powerful, and for a short time, it genuinely looked like it might replace the 9mm as America's go-to defensive cartridge. This round came from some serious minds, a collaboration between Norma Ammunition and the legendary Colonel Jeff Cooper. At its core, it's a .40 caliber projectile stuffed into a shortened .30 Remington case. That original loading was no joke. It pushed a 170 grain bullet at 1,300 feet per second. That's not plinking energy, folks. That is serious, fight-stopping power. Over the years, the 10mm has stretched its legs at both ends of the spectrum. You can find lightweight 135 grain rounds zipping past 1,200 feet per second. Or you can get those deep-penetrating 230 grain hard-cast loads that smash in at 1,150. That kind of versatility makes it one of the very few semi-auto cartridges that's equally at home in a concealed carry rig, a duty holster, or even as your last line of defense against predators in the backcountry. And today, we're breaking down the top 7 pistols chambered in 10mm that you can actually go out and buy right now. We've got polymer workhorses, classic steel frames, and just about everything in between. Let's kick this off. Number 7. The Rock Island Armory TAC Ultra, FSHC in 10mm. If you're a fan of the 1911 platform but you're looking for serious capacity, this is one you have to pay attention to. The TAC Ultra is a double-stack all-steel 1911. That's right, it's running 16 plus 1 rounds of 10mm. That's 16 in the magazine and 1 in the chamber. That's a level of firepower you just don't typically see in this platform. All that extra steel in the frame and slide works in your favor. Even when you're running full-pressure 10mm loads, the recoil is surprisingly manageable. The gun tracks flat and gets you back on target quickly during rapid fire. The fitment is solid. You get both front and rear slide serrations, and they bite deep enough to get a good purchase, even if you're wearing gloves or your hands are wet. It uses a 5-inch match-grade barrel and a full-length guide rod to keep that cycling smooth and consistent. Up top, you'll find an adjustable rear sight, and that's paired with a bright fiber optic front sight that just jumps right into your sight picture in the daylight. The grip panels are textured aggressively. They're grippy enough to give you absolute control, but not so sharp that they're going to chew up your bare hands at the range. You also get a railed dust cover for mounting a white light or a laser, and it ships standard with a skeletonized hammer and trigger. The trigger pull itself is clean, with a very quick reset. Exactly what you want when you're trying to control a cartridge with the snap of the 10mm. From a value perspective, it is really hard to argue with this pistol. You are not paying for a boutique custom 1911. Yet you're getting full steel durability, that double stack capacity, and true 10mm authority, usually for well under $1,000. Whether you're running it for duty, carrying it for defense in the woods, or just want a heavy-hitting piece for the range, the TAC Ultra can take the abuse and deliver accuracy with some real power. Number 6. The Springfield Armory XDM Elite 4.5 OSP in 10mm. Now, if you prefer a modern polymer-framed striker-fired platform, Springfield built this one from the ground up to handle the hot 10mm. This 4.5-inch OSP model runs a full-length slide with a match-grade barrel, giving you excellent control and fantastic accuracy right out of the box. The Meta trigger, that's the match-enhanced trigger assembly in the Elite line, is genuinely one of the cleanest striker-fired pulls you can get from a factory gun today. It's got a short take-up, a very crisp wall, and a fast, positive reset. It's ideal for defensive shooting. Capacity is solid, coming in at 16 plus 1, and it uses those steel-lined magazines that have proven to be extremely reliable. But the real advantage here is that OSP, or optical sight pistol system. The slide is factory milled to directly mount some of the most popular red dots on the market. Trajecon, Holosun, Leupold. You just drop it in, torque it down, and get to zeroing. No need for aftermarket adapter plates or sending your slide off to a gunsmith. The controls are fully ambidextrous. The frame texture is molded for a locked-in grip. And that extended removable magwell really helps speed up your reloads when you're under pressure. The weight balance lands right in that sweet spot. It's light enough that you can carry it in the right holster, but it's still got enough mass to keep the muzzle flat, even with full-power ammo. Whether you're training on the range, packing into bear country, or just upgrading your home defense setup with something that has more punch than a 9mm, the XDM Elite OSP delivers. Springfield absolutely designed this gun with serious shooters in mind, and it makes stepping into the 10mm world a lot smoother, especially for anyone coming over from polymer 9mm. Alright, if you're liking this breakdown so far, do us a favor. Make sure to hit that like button, get subscribed to the channel, and drop a comment down below on what 10mm pistol you trust your life with. We've got 5 more to go, and believe me, some of the heavy hitters are still on this list. Number 5. The SIG Sauer P220 Elite in 10mm. Folks, this pistol is what happens when old-school, rock-solid craftsmanship meets modern 10mm horsepower. The P220 Elite runs a forged stainless steel slide over a durable alloy frame. It is hammer-fired, it is tough as nails, and it soaks up recoil like it was built for it from day one. From the factory, you're getting SIG-Lite night sights. The rear is adjustable, the front is fixed, and they give you a sharp, clear sight picture whether it's high noon or the middle of the night. Now, the barrel is chrome-lined, it's threaded, and it measures 5.8 inches. That extra length does a few things for you. It gives you a better sight radius, it wrings out more velocity from the cartridge, and it gives you the option to run a suppressor without ever touching a gunsmith. The grips are textured G10 panels that lock into your hand, but don't feel like you're holding a rasp. The frame's contour and beaver tail give you plenty of real estate to control that recoil, but it's still comfortable enough for long strings of fire. Now, the safety system. This is classic SIG. You've got an external hammer, a dedicated decocker, and multiple internal safeties. You can safely drop the hammer on a chambered round. The firing pin is mechanically blocked until the trigger is fully pressed, and the disconnector prevents any chance of an out-of-battery ignition. In other words, this gun will only fire when you've made the decision to press that trigger. The P220 in 10mm is accurate, it's reliable, and it's built like a tank, a duty pistol that just happens to carry magnum-level energy. For a backwoods carry gun, a hunting sidearm, or just a hard-hitting range piece, this SIG brings a whole lot of confidence every single time it leaves the holster. Number 4. The Glock 20 in 10mm. If you want a straightforward, no-nonsense workhorse, this is it. The Glock 20 is striker-fired, it's full-size, and it will run hot 10mm loads all day long with zero drama. You load it, you rack it, it's ready to go. You are looking at pure Glock simplicity, a consistent trigger pull every time, an incredibly easy takedown for cleaning, and a reputation for reliability that's been proven for decades all over the world. Capacity is 15+1. That is a serious payload of 10mm power, especially when you compare it to any wheel gun on the market. The recoil is managed by the sheer size and mass of the frame, and while it is a big pistol, most shooters are genuinely surprised at how controllable it is, even when shooting one-handed. The grip is large, there's no denying that. But with the modern Gen 4 or Gen 5 texture and a solid stance, it's very manageable. Up front, you've got that accessory rail for mounting lights or lasers. That means it pulls double duty, perfect for home defense at night or for predator protection out in the field. And the aftermarket? Nobody touches Glock. Period. Triggers, slides, optics cuts, barrels. You can make this gun as custom or as bone stock as you like. It isn't flashy. It doesn't pretend to be something it's not. It is simply a dependable 10mm platform that works, whether it's for home defense, on the trail, on the farm, or deep in the backcountry. And sometimes, that's exactly what you need. Number 3. The Colt Delta Elite in 10mm. This is it. This is the original production 10mm that proved to the world this cartridge had real legs. The Delta Elite is built on the classic government model 1911 frame, but it's been tuned and strengthened internally to handle the hotter chambering. It's got full stainless steel construction. You get classic Novak 3-dot sights. You get an upswept beaver tail grip safety that forces a high, consistent grip every single time you draw the pistol. Colt added wide rear serrations for a solid grip, a flared ejection port to get that hot brass out reliably, and an enhanced commander-style hammer. The cycle feels sharp and controlled, exactly like a proper 1911 should. The safeties are pure 1911. You have the grip safety and the manual thumb safety working together. That means this pistol will not fire unless you have a firm, locked-in grip with your hand. It is mechanical insurance against negligent discharges, especially when you're holstering under stress. And the trigger? It's exactly what you'd expect from a Colt. A crisp, clean break, a short reset, and absolutely no slack. Capacity is 8+1, and it ships with 2 magazines right out of the box. The Delta Elite isn't trying to chase those boutique, multi-thousand-dollar price tags. It's giving you pure Colt heritage, a platform that's been tested for over a century, and the raw punch of the 10mm, all in one package. For hunting, for defense, or for just enjoying your time at the range, it's a proven classic that still earns its spot on the roster. Number 2. The Wesson RZ 10 in 10mm. If you are a die-hard 1911 shooter and you demand a level of performance that absolutely does not compromise, the RZ10 delivers. This pistol is built for shooters who don't settle for good enough. Yeah, the price tag sits just under $1,500, but the second you run a magazine through it, that level of craftsmanship immediately makes sense. The slide has a Clark-style rib that is actually machined directly into the steel. It's not glued on. It's not bolted on. It is cut right from the metal. That gives you a rock-solid, glare-free sight channel with low-profile combat sights. It gives you a clean draw from the holster. No snag, no distraction. The grips are Dan Wesson's double diamond cocobolo wood. They have classic lines, but they provide plenty of bite without chewing up your hand. The frame is forged. You've got a skeletonized hammer, a crisp blade trigger, and a 5-inch match-grade ramped barrel. That ramped barrel is key, as it provides full case support for hot 10mm loads. It means tighter groups, smoother feeding, and true accuracy under pressure. It has an undercut trigger guard that lets you choke up high on the gun. You add in that high-ride beaver-tail grip safety and the extended thumb safety, and this thing just locks into your hand like it was custom molded for it. The magwell has a subtle flare, just enough to help guide those magazines in for quicker reloads. It ships with one 9-round magazine, which is pretty standard for a pistol in this class. The front and rear slide serrations are deep and sharp. The whole cycle just feels tuned. The recoil impulse runs flat. The trigger reset is short and positive. It's a Dan Wesson, so the build quality is exactly what you'd expect. It is top shelf. For hunters, backcountry carriers, or just anyone who wants a 1911 that shows up and performs at an elite level. The RZ10 is elite craftsmanship chambered in 10mm. Number 1. The Glock G40 Gen 4 in 10mm. When you want maximum velocity and serious hunting power combined with that legendary Glock dependability, the G40 Gen 4 sits on the throne. This is Glock's long slide 10mm. It was purpose-built for hunters and for shooters who want to wring out every single ounce of performance this cartridge can give. That 6-inch barrel does a lot for you. It stretches out your sight radius, which makes accurate shots at a distance easier. It drives higher velocity, getting more energy on target. And it absolutely tightens your groups. It also conveniently checks the legal requirement in many states that call for a longer barrel for handgun hunting. The frame is polymer, just like every other Glock, so it stays surprisingly light for carry in the field, even for a gun this size. The slide runs Glock's gas nitrided finish. It's tough, it's corrosion resistant, and it's built for abuse. Up front, you've got a fixed sight. But at the rear, Glock cuts in their modular optic system. That means you can drop in a red dot using the included adapter plates, with no gunsmithing required. This gives you incredibly fast target acquisition. You get a rock-solid lockup that will hold 0, even under that 10mm recoil. 3 interchangeable back straps let you fine-tune the grip size to your hand. The reversible mag catch makes it friendly for left-handed shooters. And that dual recoil spring assembly does a fantastic job of taming the 10mm snap. Your follow-up shots stay flatter and faster. Capacity is 15 rounds, and Glock gives you 3 magazines right in the box. The trigger is standard Glock. It's predictable, it's consistent, and it's been proven for decades. And the safety system is that classic trio: the trigger blade safety, the firing pin block, and the drop safety. Bottom line, the G40 Gen 4 is a factory-built hunting pistol. It's reliable, it's powerful, it's accurate, and it is field-ready straight out of the case. If you are serious about running 10mm in the backcountry, this is Glock's crown jewel. Alright, let's close this out with some straight talk on the 10mm. It is a phenomenal cartridge, but I'm telling you right now, it isn't for everybody. The recoil is significantly heavier than a 9mm. The ammo costs more, and most of the guns chambered in it are full-sized for a very good reason. You have to be aware that a lot of the factory loads you see on the shelf are what we call FBI light. They're lower pressure, they have softer recoil, and if that's all you ever plan to run, you might be better off just sticking with a 40 Smith & Wesson. It's cheaper, it's easier to control, and the guns are generally easier to carry. But when you step up to full power 10mm, you are going to feel it. It's not quite a .44 Magnum, but it is no lightweight either. If you really want to understand, drop a full power Buffalo Bore or Underwood round into a Glock 29. That's a compact frame with a full house load. That is a lively ride. You also have to remember that 10mm cartridges are long. That means any double-stack pistol is going to have a very thick, wide grip. A Glock 20 might feel perfect in your hand, or it might feel like you're holding a 2x4. You really need to check those grip specs and get one in your hand before you buy. And if you're chasing deep concealment, you've got to be realistic. Yes, there are subcompact 10mm out there, but running full power loads in a tiny, lightweight frame? That's like shaking hands with a guy who just doesn't know when to let go. You are going to feel it, and your follow-up shots will suffer if you haven't trained for it. So here's the key question you have to ask yourself. Why do you want a 10mm? Is it for woods carry? Is it for hunting? Backcountry defense against predators? Or do you just want some range time with a little extra thunder? Drop your answer in the comments below and let's compare notes. If you enjoyed this breakdown, do us a solid and hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and stick around, because we have got a lot more hard-hitting gun content coming your way.